Hey guys, what's going on? I recently posted a video of Wishing Well by the Oh Hellos. I'm seeing them this weekend in Portland, super excited, so I've been going through all their new stuff and looking at a few of their old songs and old concerts. I was browsing on their subreddit and I saw someone had posted a request for a guitar tutorial video for this song. So hopefully a combination of me going through some of the tuning and the strumming patterns, and by watching the other video I posted. Hopefully this will help some of you guys play some Oh Hello songs in addition to just Wishing Well. First things first, the tuning. Tyler plays a lot of his songs in full step down, D standard. So that's the first thing you're going to want to do. For this song in particular, it's in D standard except for the fourth string, what would be an F once you're in D standard. He tunes it up a half a step to an F sharp. So what this does in the tuning, because the song is in D major, which would be, this E major hand position, kind of just your 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0, just an E major chord, but since we're in a different tuning, it's actually D major. And by tuning this fourth string up to F sharp, it allows you to kind of take off the index finger, and so 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0, that becomes a D major in this tuning. And this is really important for this song because these the three bottom strings, the F sharp, the A, and the D here, that makes up a D major chord. And because it's kind of an open tuning, it's a variation of an open tuning. By playing the right hand positions on the bass strings, these three strings remain open and it gives the whole song kind of an airy feel. Now that we have the tuning down, we're going to go over the hand positions for the 5 chords used in the songs. One of the chords is, so make an E minor fingering with your left hand, 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0. In this tuning, like I said before, that's a D major. There's also another D major that the song kind of starts and ends on. He goes back and forth between two of the same chord, just a little higher up on the neck. So starting on the second string here, I guess in this tuning would be a G string, index finger on the 7th fret, and then on the C string below it, the 3rd string, pinky on the 9th fret, and then leave all the other strings open. And that's also a D major chord. So D major down here, and D major up here. If you take the same hand position, the kind of, you're only putting your fingers on 2 of the strings, if you slide this down the neck to the 4th fret with the index finger, 4th fret, 2nd string, pinky on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. This is going to be a modified B minor chord. Same hand position, roll it back to the 2nd fret. So we have, starting on the 2nd string, index on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, pinky on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and then leaving these bottom 3 strings open again. That's going to be a modified A chord in this tuning. And then the last chord uses is what would be rolling it back to an open position. So open G string, open 2nd string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, leaving the top 3 strings open. That's some sort of G chord. It's a G suspended something with these extra notes brought in here, but it's just another chord in this pretty natural progression. So D major up on the neck, a B minor, a modified A chord, and a modified G chord. And And those are the only 5 chords he uses. There's a little bit of embellishment throughout the song, but we'll get to that once we go through the actual tutorial. The last thing I'm going to talk about in this section is the right-handed strumming pattern. So he hops between, he uses only thumb and index finger, and he's hopping between bass notes with the thumb. So if you go to your D chord up on the neck here, you're just kind of bouncing your thumb around. Sometimes between 2nd and 3rd string, sometimes between 2nd and 4th string, sometimes between 2nd and 5th string. It's not really precise, you know, all the certain strikes that he does studio compared to live versions and all that. Just as long as your thumb's kind of hopping around 2 strings, starting at this root note here. With the index finger, you're kind of scraping it across the bottom, the 6th string, tends to hit the 5th string, maybe the 4th string as you kind of rake it across those strings. But you're putting those 2 motions together in an alternating pattern. So just keeping on this high D major chord, you're striking alternating thumbs and then alternating those hits with your index finger. So it sounds like. So practice this on all the chords that we went over before. So D major down here. See how that sounds a little bit fuller than the one up here. The B minor. And the A. And the G. Okay, so now that we have the tuning, the chords, and the strumming pattern down, I'm going to go ahead and go through part by part of the song and kind of call out the chords you're using, as well as any extra embellishments that they do throughout the song. So this will just be me kind of going piece by piece, and then hopefully with what you learned here, you can go back to my other video or one of the live videos posted from other concerts that they've done and kind of get the timing and everything down. This is just to get the chords in your head and the patterns that they use. So we'll start right at the intro. Intro starts with B minor, sliding up to D. Keeping your hand here, you're gonna pull off the index finger to get this open G string, the open 2nd string, and then putting the index finger right back on D. It goes pretty quick, so slowed down, here's what it sounds like. Couple extra embellishments you can do to make it sound a little more full and a little more close to the studio version is that first B minor, you slide into it from the A. So index finger on 2nd fret, sliding into it. And then you'll notice in the live version that I do and in the studio version, there's this little kind of 4-note line that kind of reverberates throughout the song at the end of certain lines, and it sounds like. So you can build that into the intro by completing the first progression, and then once you're here, use your ring finger, 9th fret of the 2nd string, sliding up to 11, and then staying on the ring finger, 9 down to 7, and then hitting an open 5th string with your index finger. So put together. Alright, so that's the intro. After the first verse, it goes back to the intro, but you're replacing this last D. You're gonna play it down at the open position chord. And and that gives a little more body to the song as you're progressing through. It starts really light and it picks up into that really loud strummed chorus, so you're building body throughout the song. You can hear how this open low D really kind of rings through the song. So that's intro, and then kind of the gap between verses 1 and 2. Getting into the verses, you're starting on a D up on the 7th fret here. D, dropping the index finger off for an open G, and right back onto the D. I ran like a speeding train. Second line, D, dropping off to the G, and then down to an A chord on the 2nd fret. A low D, because you don't want to have to slide all the way back up here for the 3rd line. So 3rd line is A, D, G, just by taking, this transition is really subtle, but it's in a D major, just taking that index finger off for the G. And then G, B minor, A, D. So the whole first verse. I ran like a speeding train, cut my hair and changed my name, only had myself to blame for the company I was keeping. And then back into the intro, which we already went over. And for that little phrase, when you're down in the open position, you can replicate that same thing without having to slide all the way up to the 9th fret. You can go to 4th fret on the 3rd string with your ring finger, 4, slide up to 6, back to 4, slide down to 2. Second verse is the same chords, except you're holding this open position now that the song is starting to build up. So D, D, G, D, D, G, A, D, G, G, B minor, A, D. That puts us into the chorus. The chorus starts on B minor, so all 4 lines of the chorus, if you break up the lyrics, all start on B minor. B minor, D, and then pulling off the G down to a low D. G, D, B minor, D, G, B minor, D, G, D, B minor, G, D, A, and then either holding that A or kind of ringing out a open D note on this low 6th string or 1st string here. So that's all the pieces of the puzzle, and how you put them together and build up the song as it plays through is kind of up to referring back to my other video or watching live versions of this song or listening along to the studio. I've noticed through watching live versions and then listening back to the studio, there's some, they play it different live, obviously, because they can't play it perfectly studio standard every time, and there's a lot more instruments on stage filling out that other notes. So keep that in mind as you're watching live videos. Ultimately, it's your version of the song. So with that, get out there and play some Oh Hello songs. If you guys have requests for other Oh Hellos or other bands, I'm happy to take a look at them and see what I can figure out through watching live videos and listening to the studio recordings. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. You can subscribe if you want. That's great. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.